Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you are all enjoying your Friday. Happy Friday. Happy New Year. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy. Life's good. It's just fantastic. It's sensational. I mean, look at it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, cold day. Not. This is we're back. We are back, guys. We are back. You know, I was on the phone to Nina earlier and I said to her, I think we're back to that dark time. I said, do you remember when we were in that podcast room and it was really tense just before or maybe after the protest against Southampton, the one just before the game? And she went, yeah, it looks that way. It's the truth. It's the truth. This is a crazy time to be a Chelsea fan. This is a crazy time. We will have a guest today as well, hopefully. So he may or may not be joining us. But in the meantime, I just thought let's just get cracking on my own, guys. Let's get cracking on my own because it is unfortunately a very serious time to be a Chelsea fan. It's a very serious time. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I try to be optimistic every season. I really try. I can give you references, you know, when Sarri was manager, when Tuchel was manager, when Potter was the manager, Poch. Last season broke me. Honestly, I was a broken man last season. This isn't the first time I'm broken. I was broken last year. I was broken. And this season, it's just, oh, man. You know, it's like when you're trying to catch a flight. You were about to leave the house and you realized that you left your passport. So you go back, you get your passport, and then you get to the airport, you go to check in, and you've left your boarding pass. And that's what's happening now. This is part two. This is part two of what is, quite frankly, a very strange time to be a Chelsea fan. There he is. We've got our guest today. How are you, Don?
Stressed, man. Boy, just finished the terrace. You know, I was just backstage with Terry and these lot going back and forth about the club, man. You know, but yeah, what you say, man? What you say, Alex? You good?
I don't even know your opinion on this, Don. So I just want to know how you feel, because I was saying before you came on, this is a very serious time to be a Chelsea fan. I know you're only going to be here for half an hour. So, I mean, I'd love to know your opinion.
What on what? Maresca, the ownership, like just everything.
Hey, man, I mean, that's literally all we're talking about at the moment. Yeah, I was having this conversation with my dad, and he was like, do we really have to keep talking about the ownership? And I was like, it's literally the only thing that I can speak about right now. It's the only thing I can think about, which is unfortunate because whenever you think of politics in real life, nobody wants to talk about it. You talk about it because you're unhappy, not because you love the prime minister or whoever it is, whatever. And it's the same in football. Nobody wants to talk about owners. How often do we actually speak about Abramovich? Not that much, unless we were complimenting the guy. And it just seems to be the reverse cycle.
I mean, I've been consistent about these guys. You know, there's certain things that I like that they've done since coming here, right? I like the idea of, you know, buying players and the best of the best will make it. The worst ones will get flipped. Because at the end of the day, Alex, you got to think of ways to bring in money into the club. Because, bro, Everton have a bigger stadium than Chelsea, right? But I've always maintained that with that money that we're bringing in, all these players that we're flipping, we need to invest it into the first team, yeah? And by first team, I mean starting level quality players, right? When we signed the likes of Mudryk, when we signed the likes of Maduekis, after that summer, after that January, I said, bro, I don't want to be seeing any more of these signings. if you're gonna sign young players, because that's the model you want to go down, Alex. You want to sign young players, go sign me the best of the best. Go sign me the Olises. Go sign me the Kvaratskhelia. Go sign me the Rodrigos, right? Sign me the Palmers. Sign me the Caicedos. They're the level of young player that I want in the team because they're good enough to be playing for Chelsea. Yeah. Don't get me Garnachos and then to add to that with Gittins. Don't get me Delap and then not bring in a guy that can start ahead of him like Ekitike. Yeah. Don't bring me, you know, these young players like Sarr and Ansomino that you're not going to use. You're going to loan out. And then now we've got no one in reserve because Fofana can't stay fit. Badiashile can't stay fit. Go get me Gahey instead. Yeah. This is what I've wanted for ages, Alex, with this ownership, bro. I've wanted them to go and invest into the first team, bring in starting level quality. Same thing happened in the summer. I was begging for Rodgers. I was begging for someone like an Ndai, a Semenyo, a Rodrigo. When we was linked to Ekitike, we spoke about him. A lot of Chelsea fans were saying, yo, bring him in. Yeah. I spoke about Gahey, bro. Bring Gahey. Look at that, Alex. Gahey, Rodgers, or Kudus, or Xavi Simons. I know he's not been great at Tottenham, but I think he'd actually do better with the players that we've got, right? There's 3 or 4 players I've mentioned there that start for us straight away, Alex. Yeah. Whereas now we've gone with the Garnachos that aren't good enough to be starting. The Gittins aren't good enough to be starting, right? You know, we've gone for the Delaps that aren't good enough to be starting weekly. That is a problem. Because in isolation, I rate these guys as squad players. That's where people get it wrong. There's 2 conversations to be having here. Are these guys good enough to be squad players on the bench? Delap and these sort of guys, Gittins. I think they are. But are they good enough to be starting for Chelsea week in, week out? Like what we need them to be doing with the likes of Caicedo and Palmer? I don't think they are. Yeah. And that's where I think they went wrong in the summer. They didn't bring in enough starting level quality. That's the problem I've always had with these guys. It's like they're just obsessed with taking risks on players that, you know, could be this in 3 years' time, could be that in 4 years' time. There's no more time for that because we already have spent enough money as it is. And we've got a lot of those players already on the books. Yeah. Now is the time to be bringing in quality where they come into the team straight away. And you know, oh yeah, he starts. Yeah. Now it's, oh yeah. You know, Gittins, Garnacho, who starts? Delap, Pedro, who starts? It's just boring. It's boring, bro. It's pathetic. Yeah. And then at the same time, I am not happy with how Maresca's been using this squad. I've been seeing these lot have been trying to cook me on the terrace and that just now, yeah, about, oh, you said this, you said you attacked this, you said you attacked that. Do you think, Alex, if it's up to me, I'm playing Pedro and Garnacho, Pedro Neto and Garnacho in every game, the way Maresca's been doing it, bro? Yeah? Do you think if it's up to me, I'm playing Reece in midfield before Santos? Do you think if it's up to me, I'm playing Tosin ahead of Josh? Right? If it's up to me, I'm managing the team completely differently, bro. I am overlapping these fullbacks. I am playing 4-3-3 more often. I'm playing Palmer more on the right. I'm playing Esteval way more than we've been seeing him in this team. I would use this team completely differently. As much as I don't agree with how we went about the summer, the way that this squad has been mismanaged for me this season, bro, I've not been a fan of it. I have not been a fan of it. And that's why I always start with the sporting directors and the ownership first. And then I go to Maresca because it starts from them first, right? But I'm sorry, bro. The way Maresca's been managing the team, it's not been good enough for me. Yeah?
Wait, does that mean justify the sacking?
No. I'm not justifying. I was just trying to get there. Does it mean that he should have been sacked? No. Because I honestly think he would have turned it around. You know, I think another December, he didn't manage well. I think the rotation was poor. Enzo Fernandez being run into the ground. Bro, we was there against Leeds, bro. Man started fucking Chalobah at right back and left Esteval to die out there by himself. Enzo, you could literally see how tired this guy was, right? You know? So I don't think
maybe part of that is because of the problems that we've uncovered that weren't the manager.
Yeah,
does it not make you think, hang on a second, maybe there's a reason that we kept playing Tosin. Maybe there's a reason that some of these other guys, you know, they were coming in the team and we thought that's a bit questionable. Like, what the hell was that substitution? Like, we found out that Chelsea have a medical, they have medical staff that report directly to the club. They have basically got power over the manager. So when Palmer came off, that was because of the medical department, and it was encouraged by the ownership. So Maresca can't challenge that whatsoever. So when we're actually booing that substitution and Palmer's coming off, I mean, at the time I thought it was baffling. I thought it was ridiculous. But now I understand it. And
I I didn't need confirmation from the medical team to know that Palmer's being managed. It's for his own good. Bro,
I don't think Maresca wanted that. I think that's why he left. I think that's one of the biggest reasons he left.
What? As in what? Taking Palmer off?
He doesn't have control of his own team.
Yeah, but bro, he just came back.
If I you can only stream at 6 a.m. in the morning or 12 o'clock, and you're only allowed to do 25-minute streams. You go fuck off, Alex. I'm going to stream whenever I want.
Yeah,
that's
but one of the
things is saying, this is my team. Well, what are you doing? You're an owner. You manage the books, and I'll sort the football side out.
Yeah, but we can't have it both ways though, because one of the main things I've seen people praising Maresca for is how he's been able to keep our players fit. Right?
There's rotation and there's forced rotation. There's a difference. I like rotation. I haven't got a problem with it. I don't like the fact that
I don't think it's rotated. I don't think he's rotated the best way that he can. Because when we rotated against Leeds, for example, why am I seeing Chalobah right back instead of Gusto? It's a hostile environment. Every time Esteval was touching the ball, they're just onto him straight away. But you're giving him no help. You've got a guy who's a centre back playing at right back. Why? Yeah. These are the things that I'm looking at in terms of some of the rotating that is done. Why is the whole team being rotated against the likes of Cardiff, and then people expecting the team to just click when they barely play together? Again, another intangible in football is chemistry, bro. Right? So, at the end of the day, we've praised the medical team for keeping the likes of Reece fit. Neto's not a fan favorite, but he's been able to keep fit. I didn't want Neto to sign for Chelsea because, bro, that guy always used to break down. Neto is always available now. Palmer just came back. If Palmer gets injured again and is out for the rest of the season, it's problems, because we're not going to go sign anyone, bro. I don't trust these guys to sign anyone. So we can't have it both ways. You can't praise the medical team in one breath, but then say, oh, they're over controlling Maresca.
When did I praise the medical team?
Haven't we spoken before about how we've been able to keep players fit?
Well, no. When did we speak about that?
So you haven't okay. Let's have a conversation then. What do you think about the fitness of the players? Do you feel like they've been able to maintain fitness a lot more? For example, Reece James, bro.
Yes. No, I'm with you on that. No, we're keeping players fit. But as Aggie said, I interviewed him outside Stamford Bridge. He went, it's great rotating Reece and all these guys, but when you're dropping points, it's not. And I wouldn't have had an issue. But then I look at the Palmer substitution. I go back to that substitution because you've got to remember, Maresca refused to do his press conference. He didn't want to do his interview. I think at that point he'd already quit. He was done because he was probably pissed off. What am I doing, man? I'm sure if it was up to him, Palmer doesn't get subbed, mate. I really believe that, because I think there was enough pressure on him. And I think that he said previously that Palmer was able to play a full 90 minutes. That the only logical explanation was that he was forced to make that substitution. We now have proof, because of this independent medical department, that is the case, and it was encouraged from the ownership. So it's like, it's like when your teacher or whatever it is, people go, "Oh, I think you should do that," and it doesn't mean I think you should do that. It means do that. All right. And that's the reality with what I think's happened with Palmer. I mean, there's other instances I'm sure that we can look at. I mean, if I'm totally honest, Don, really, I think that the politics of it is catching my attention, which is annoying. But I mean, I can't stop thinking about the fact that we've got no ambition at the moment. That's what I can't stand, mate. We're looking.
I don't want to spend too much time on like the whole injury thing, right? But let's be real now. Against Newcastle, Palmer started that game and he came off quite early in the second half, I remember. Yeah. Against Villa, he started that game as well. How long did he play against Villa? When did he come off? And that was 7 days. That was 7 days later. So it was a week later. Yeah.
He didn't play a full 90 minutes against Villa.
He didn't play a full 90 minutes. No. And then against Bournemouth, we had Bournemouth 3 days later. Yeah. We drew that game 2-2. Yeah. This is a man that still.
But Maresca said he was able to play a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, but Alex, read between the lines, bro. We had a game 3 days before the game at Bournemouth, right? Whether you think he can play 90 minutes, bro, it's been 3 days.
I'm not saying you play Palmer 90 minutes. I'm pointing to that game. But it's because he's left on. I wouldn't look at that game in so much detail otherwise. But you have to. It's like when
the report didn't even really say much about Palmer. It was they focused on Reece.
No, but that's a substitution that stands out. That's the reason I'm speaking about it.
I'm sorry, bro. This isn't even anything to do with Chelsea, bro. I have been watching football a long time, right? When players like Palmer have been out for ages, this is what I'm used to seeing them manage like, bro. It's not just a Chelsea thing. I see players come back all the time. The first few months, first few weeks when they come back, they're slowly, managed. Certain games they might play 90, certain games they play 60. You manage their minutes, bro. And then eventually you start to see him playing more 90 minutes, more 90 minutes, more 90 minutes.
Let me just make it very clear. I'm seeing some of the stuff. I'm seeing some of the stuff. I am not blaming the substitution for why we lost the game. I'm not blaming the substitution. I'm blaming the fact that Maresca doesn't have control of every substitution, of who he can start, of who he has to rotate. I'm blaming that as one of the key indicators as to why he left his job. And maybe he'll come out and say something, maybe he won't, Don. But I think ultimately, as a manager, you want control, especially when you think you're genuinely worth it. And he had a good season. He bought himself some credit. So, I mean, I was listening to TalkSport, Don, and I was on TalkSport. But after then, they said, he's actually come out of this job looking better than he did when he came in. Like, this is a manager who's going to get snapped up, mate. So,
of course he is. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest, bro. Maresca's not a doctor. Maresca's not a doctor, bro. I'm past
that. He doesn't have control, Don. It's control.
Bro, they specifically.
You are the manager. It's your job to choose the stuff. You get advice and you take it or you don't take it. But I'm sorry, there's a reason he's walked out. He didn't walk out because he wants players to get injured. He didn't walk out because of that. He walked out because he doesn't have enough of a say to feel like he can bring this club in a direction without being micromanaged at every little step. Oh, you got to take him off 10 minutes early. Oh, you can't play him. You got to play him. Why the hell did Jamie Gittins come on for 2 minutes at the end of the game? I mean, you telling me that that's an ambitious move from the manager to go and win the game? I don't know. But what we do know is if you rotate and you keep playing these players, they're more likely to retain their value rather than just sitting on the bench. And that is hand in hand with the model.
That's the irony of it, though. That's the irony of it, though. I don't get that point around the value of our players. But then these are the same players that we don't see. Yeah, you can't say maintaining value of our players and then Hato's not seen. His value's dropping. You can't say maintain value of Santos, but we don't see him. Yeah, we don't see Buonanotte. We barely see Gittins, bro. Garnacho is Chelsea's starting left winger. Let's have it right. Yeah. And when he gets on the ball, do you even stand up on the bridge, Alex? Me and you watch games together, bro. We just watch him. We just look at him. Yeah. Esteval's the only one. Esteval's the only one that makes us really stand up and feel like something's going to happen. Right.
That is true.
So I didn't really understand that point because it's like, I felt the need to play these players to raise their value, but it's the opposite, bro. You've done the opposite.
Maresca's not playing them for that. That's the point. And people saying that he was sacked. I don't see any proof of that. As far as I'm concerned, and Sky reported this, he didn't even get any compensation. Am I right in saying that, Don? He didn't even get a severance package.
I think he he was a bit flexible on the
He walked.
He was flexible. There was still a severe, what do you call it? A severance package? Severance package. There we go. There's a severance package, yeah. So he still got something, but he didn't get one.
He gave up the money because we are a joke.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It got reported that there was still some level of payment, just not as much as
you got to remember. This guy had 4 years left on his deal, Don. 4 years left. Well, 3.5, whatever you want to call it. It's actually 6 if you extend it. Right? This guy turned down millions to get out of it.
I know. And that's where I'm saying.
He was not fired. You can't tell me that he wanted to leave and he escalated the situation to get this situation. If Maresca really wanted to keep this job, he would still be in the job. Everyone can see that.
How I look at it right now, bro, Maresca, I haven't been happy with his management this season, right? 2 things can be right at once, but I still want the sporting directors gone because they didn't do the things that we needed to do in the summer, right? After this manager came in, got you top 4 when no one expected it, right? You've given him a long contract. You said, this is a guy we want to build with, just like a lot of these players, but then you let him down, right? He wins you the Club World Cup when no one expected it. He wins you that money. You sell all these players, you bring in, record number of sales, yeah? But then you go and give him squaddies. That's what I call these guys. The players that we signed in the summer, Alex, yeah, are squaddies, yeah? They're not the worst players in the world. If you got them on the bench, no problem. But where are the guys to be starting for us, bro? That's where my problem is, yeah? And that's where I was looking at it thinking, okay, we've started off the window all right. We've signed Gittins, cool. We've signed Delap, cool, yeah? But even when I saw the number 9, I was even on the terrace when they said, "Oh, Delap's got the number 9." I was praying. I'm like, bro, I hope that doesn't mean that he's number 1. Yeah, but that was a very big sign that he was going to be the starting striker for us. I was still hoping that we'd go and sign someone else. You know what I mean, bro? Because I don't rate Delap as a starting level striker. I like him. I like his potential, and I like him as a squad player. But to be starting him, bro, that's a big mistake. Yeah. But I'm sorry, bro. This season, me and you have spoken after a lot of games or over text, games together. Bro, it's not just me that's criticized Maresca for not overlapping the fullbacks. It's not just me who's criticized Maresca for consistently persisting with Reece in the midfield. It's not just me that thinks Neto and Garnacho pairing is blasphemous. Yeah. It's not just me that thinks these things, bro. This is where I'm like,
football. This sacking is not about football, Don.
It's not about the football, Alex. But end of the day, if we was getting the results, yeah, and we was playing well and was winning games, I highly doubt that whole thing happens. Because the first thing that came out was after the game against Atalanta. He said, "Oh, I felt no support," right? But then most of the fan base I saw crashing Maresca after that result. He threw away the game.
Mate, when I was in Italy, I had so many people come up to me and go, "Do you think he should go? Do you think he should get sacked?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" But I mean, so many people were saying it that I was like, "Bloody hell, maybe I need to consider it."
That's my point. That's my point, Alex. Yeah, and that's where
we know that it's stupid, mate. We know that we shouldn't sack a manager like that. Again, if this was Poch. All right, if this was Poch and he hadn't won us anything and he was going into his second season and we were struck, whatever it was, or let's just say any other manager, it doesn't have to be Poch, then you can understand it a little bit more. Oh, okay, he hasn't achieved anything with us, like the bare minimum. Who are we? Come on, man, let's get a winner in. This guy's actually had success. He's had success, Don, and we have literally turned down. I don't want to say he's like the Cole Palmer in terms of management. I don't want to say that because it's not the right thing to say. He's not sexy enough. The football's not fun. Like, I get it. I was the one who complained last season, but trophies are trophies, guys. Trophies are trophies. And now I think that we're getting to the stage where we're not winning any trophies, but at least maybe the football will be fun to watch. But I think we're just taking a step closer to being a blue version of Tottenham, mate. At Brighton.
How I look at things, Alex, for me, bro, I feel like I've never been one to run away from the reality. Yeah, even away from football, bro. Right? If you're broke right now, bro, you haven't got a job. If you just sit around now complaining, I ain't got a job, I'm broke, your situation won't change. Yeah? Go out there and graft and go get yourself a little CSCS card and just go do some laboring. Yeah? Go change something. Go do something to change your life. Right?
Yeah.
He couldn't change nothing about the summer, Alex. Yeah? When that window shuts, the window shuts. It don't open again till January, Alex. It don't open again until the summer. Yeah? You can't run away with the players that you've got to use. So you make sure that you use them correctly. Yeah? And if you don't use them correctly, what happens is you start to play shit and then you start to drop points. You start to lose games. Yeah? Now it's negative. Now it's pressure. And that's exactly what happens. Because you know how much I rate Maresca, bro. I was one of the guys saying, "Yo, Maresca's going to be a good signing for us." You were like, "Yo, we shouldn't have sacked Poch." You were like, "Poch galore." Yeah.
If I'm honest, Don, if it wasn't for the Club World Cup, I would stand by that because look where we are now.
This is my thing with Maresca, bro. Like,
square one.
I rate Maresca to a very high level. Yeah, I like where he's going in his career. I think he's going to be part of the next era of managers who are top, and that's why for me, I've been so disappointed with his management this season because a lot of the decisions that he's been making, I just think like, yo, this ain't you, bro. Like even simple things like whatever people think about Gittins, yeah. Gittins was brought in as a guy that's a 1v1 guy. He can take people on the outside, crossing the ball. You might get some goals from him as well. Cool, yeah. Instead, he would rather play a guy consistently, Alex, who had one of the worst successful dribbles in the league last season. Yeah. Struggles to go on the outside. Tyreek George can't do any worse than Garnacho. Forget Gittins. Tyreek George can't do any worse than Garnacho. Yeah. So you'd rather go with a guy that doesn't fit your system over a guy who was signed for your system. Why? Right? And then people are going to tell me, oh, it's because they don't work off the ball. Yeah. I used to hear this about Gallagher. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing on the ball, Alex? We are a possession style team. We are going to have most of the ball. Neto against Villa had what? 60, 70 touches of the ball? What do you remember?
What do you remember? We're talking about the football, mate. This is not.
Yeah, but Alex,
we're past that.
Alex, bro, this is my problem because you're trying to run away from the football. I am not, bro. The sporting directors need to go. I've already made my point on that. But let's talk about what we've been seeing this season because we can't run away from that. We're 5th in the table right now, yeah, and we've still got 3 other comps to play for. I don't like this thing of just running away from what's happening on the pitch because we can't run away from that. We're Chelsea fans, bro. You go abroad, you go home and away every game. You're there, so we need to talk about it. Yeah, you can't have a guy like Neto touching the ball 60, 70 times, ignoring the likes of Palmer and these sort of guys. Yeah, you've got Esteval the other day, left wing, right wing. What performance have you seen Neto play like that this season? What performance have you seen Garnacho play like that this season, bro? There's levels to this, Alex. Right? You've got players like Esteval on the team. I don't give a fuck.
In fairness, I don't know why we're criticising Neto. I think Neto's been pretty solid, mate, since the Club World Cup.
Neto has improved his output, yes, but
over
90 minutes on the ball, he is a momentum killer. He is like a grenade at times, right? He's very much get the ball.
That grenade has been part of the spine of our team.
Yeah, but that grenade should be a squad player because he doesn't really fit what we want to do. Yeah, on the ball, he is so limited. Him and Garnacho are the same thing. I call them the cramp twins. Yeah. So you've got one guy on the right who breaks down multiple attacks. You've got another guy on the left who struggles to go on the outside. But let's keep persisting with that and leave the likes of Esteval on the fucking bench, even though Esteval on the ball is fucking quality. Yeah. Fuck the age because this guy will be starting for Brazil in the World Cup. Yeah. And they're gonna tell me he's not physical. Bro, did you see this guy against Bournemouth, the way he was physically going past these guys, bro? Yeah. Did you see the penalty that he won? How many penalties has Neto won for Chelsea or Garnacho? How many? They don't fucking attack the box. They don't attack the box, bro. We used to have so many penalties when Palmer first came because we had players that had a burst of pace, like Sterling, like Mudryk, that could win penalties. These 2 cramp twins on the wing, they can't win shit in the box because they don't fucking attack the box. Yeah. All they know in terms of the chance creation is crosses or cutbacks to the fucking midfielders. There's never look at the chance that Esteval created for Delap, yeah? Sorry, for Enzo in the game against West Ham. Yeah. He attacked the box and it was a simple whip across the box. It's a tap-in. This team is always scrambling in the air, crossing in the air because they can't beat their man. But then you want to keep persisting with it. Why? These are the things I am talking about, Alex. This management has been poor, yeah? And he's been persisting with players who have let him down multiple times, bro. I can think of the game
proving the point about how incompetent the people running are.
Hold on, Alex. Right? Let me keep cooking now. How many times did Garnacho get the ball in serious situations on the left to score? Yeah. And I'm looking at that there. I'm thinking, bro, Tyreek isn't good enough to be starting for Chelsea. But I know Tyreek is going to test the keeper and actually bang it in because he's got ball striking. Even Gittins is a better ball striker than this guy. Yeah. Against Sunderland, we had an opportunity to go 2-0 up to go and win that game at home. Neto's on the break. Garnacho's running through on space. He can't make a simple through ball, broski. Against, there's so many examples here. Atalanta. These guys are momentum killers, bro. And these are the guys that man kept persisting with.
I agree with you on the dribbling front. I agree with you, Don. I agree with you. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But when you ask why is he persisting with these players? Why are we doing these things? I mean, with Neto, to be honest with you, I think that you can count on Neto in terms of this season. I think that he's been pretty reliable. You can say that he has had bad games and his dribbling's not all that. Fair enough. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend his dribbling compared to Esteval. Esteval's obviously a much more attractive player to watch. But if you basically look from the Forest game, when he got a goal and an assist, like, I'd say Neto's been one of our more reliable players. He's been a player that's scoring goals, creating, and he's been a player that this team can lean on in difficult moments. Like, ever since Jota died in the Club World Cup, I was at that game. Like, that guy has pulled his socks up, man. I'm not sitting here saying that he's Ronaldinho, the Portuguese Ronaldinho. I'm not sitting here saying that he can compete with Esteval in that sense. But Neto for me, like that's not a player that I'm coming for. Garnacho, I'll be honest, mate. That guy's frustrated the hell out of me. I get the signing in terms of squad player, but I mean, well, you've seen it, Don. Newcastle was a killer. Like the amount.
Alex, that's my point though. If you're gonna start Neto, you can't start him with Garnacho. You just can't.
You're saying you can't do both. And to be fair, now we've seen Esteval playing on the left. Like we saw that with Madueke, and I actually thought that worked at times. So maybe that could be a solution going forward. I mean, it depends what was it, Rosenior? Depends what he does. Like if he's going into this anything like Maresca, then Lord knows what's going to happen. But if he can give a little bit more freedom to certain players, then I think it will be nice. Maybe even play now in the 10.
That is what I want to see, bro. I just want us to go back to basics, strip it back, go back to basics, overlap some fullbacks, right? He likes to play a pivot. I actually want to see Enzo go deeper now and start to get more touches on the ball, like Jorginho used to do for us.
Well,
like
that's what he did when he first came in.
When he first came with Graham Potter. That was the best Enzo I've seen. I know this Enzo's box crashing and all of these things, but bro, Enzo's finishing is pathetic for one.
He has got like okay GA. It's not terrible, but it's so poor to watch. Like,
yeah,
it is just
it doesn't.
That's what it comes across as.
Yeah, when he's playing like just behind the striker, like further up where Palmer would roam, he's not really that good there. He's not great there. I've always preferred Enzo, who's a deep line playmaker. He can still go up at times, of course, but he's the one that's in build up. He's helping build up the play. When we played Brentford this season, bro, that's one of his best performances in a Chelsea top, let alone this season. So that's what I hope Matisse will go back to, yeah, because he likes to play a pivot. I want to see these fullbacks overlapping more. I know Reece might not be able to do it as much, but on the other side, I need to see Cuckoo doing it more, bro. I need to see Gusto being used as well, overlapping like he did with Poch. That was the best Gusto that I saw. Yeah. So these are things that you can be doing to help the wingers, because when you're overlapping the wingers, when you're overlapping the fullbacks, the wingers are closer to goal, Alex, right? Because now Esteval is going to be in the pocket, like against West Ham when Gusto was overlapping. When Palmer played on the wing in the Club World Cup against PSG, he wasn't really on the wing, was he? He was playing in the pocket, and Gusto was overlapping. All these things were helping our players, yeah. And Maresca did that in so many games. So I don't know why he decided to just run away from it. And it's like, yo, Neto, Garnacho, I know you guys aren't great 1v1. I won't give you no help overlapping. Just go out there and do it yourself, and let's see if it works. Well, it didn't fucking work, did it? And that's where I'm frustrated, because I didn't want Maresca to get sacked. I wanted him to fix up. That's where I was at. I wanted him to fix up. But where I'm at right now, Alex, I am not backing Clear Lake, bro. I want these sporting directors gone.
Took you 33 minutes, Don.
No, because there's so many things to be talking about. So it's a multi-layered conversation. And unfortunately, not everyone has the capacity or the comprehension to deal with multi-layered conversations. Yeah. But as it is, bro, like I said, the bigger picture is bigger than Maresca. I want those two gone. People are saying get rid of Igbali and that. I get that, bro. I do. I understand that frustration. But I don't see him going anywhere. So what we could do that's more realistic, right, is bringing in a sporting director. Just one, like a Campos, who knows what he's doing upstairs, yeah? Who's going to bring players like Doué and Kvaratskhelia to the club, right? Not players like Garnacho. I don't want to be seeing that.
I mean, to be fair, even if you look at the amount of money we invest in some of these guys, you just go 2 years up. I mean, it doesn't make a big difference, and you get so much more quality. A couple of years makes a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. I think for me, the vision of what he's trying to do, I haven't got a problem with, because if we had signed Olise, no one's talking about his age. We signed Caicedo, no one talks about his age. Palmer, no one talks about his age, right? Doué, no one talks about Doué. Kvaratskhelia is not even 25, Alex. Yeah. So if we had signed these top young players, no one's talking about their age. But the reason why we focus on their age so much with guys like Garnacho and that's because they're not good enough. They're just not good enough. It's as simple as that. So you need to hire someone up there who knows how to execute the plan that you want. Those two up there, their talent ID stinks. Yeah. And then people are telling me, oh, they just need to change their strategy. How am I going to trust a guy who thinks signing Garnacho was a good idea for the system, Alex? Regardless of the strategy. I just said on the terrace, these are the type of guys to see the data and say, oh, let's go sign Lindelof from Villa. He fits what we're looking at the data. Not Lindelof as a player on the pitch. Yeah. I don't trust these guys' decisions, bro. I don't trust their decision making. I don't understand how, even last season, they just depended on Lavia to stay fit. They depended on Fofana to stay fit. I criticized them for that. I've been talking about needing 2 centre-backs for nearly 2 years now, right? They haven't done it. So I don't care about a change of strategy. I want those guys gone. Because whatever the strategy, I don't think they're competent enough. They need to go to the mid-table teams where they can make mistakes with the likes of Lindelof and the likes of Garnacho and these sort of man. But at Chelsea Football Club, bro, you need guys that have been there, done it, and won. Yeah? Been there, done it. They know what they're doing. You bring in Berta. Berta's not bringing Garnacho. Berta's not bringing
he's had a great window in the grand scheme of things. Maybe you take your careers out of the equation, but at least he tried to address the issue, right? Nobody can complain.
You can't complain about that. And that's what I'm saying. It's the execution, because Ekbali is not a football guy. This guy just bought the club and he's hired people below him to do the recruitment. The same way Roman hired Marina to do the recruitment. These recruitment guys are meaty, bro. They're meaty, bro. Yeah? I'm telling you, Alex, bro, just give me 100 grand a year salary. I'll go in there and Chelsea will be back to the top.
We'll get the Y Scout. Get the Y Scout in there, Don. Have you resubscribed? What's going on,
bro? I need to listen. I need to get that account back. I've got the account, but I can't log into it right now. Innit? You know what I mean?
You've been locked out.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, yeah, I say this to my chat all the time, bro. Me and everyone in the chat, we would build the team a lot better than what these guys have done. I can't believe the level of incompetence. Yeah, I could not believe that we didn't sign a centre back, Alex, after what happened to Colwell. They want to come out and talk nonsense about, the reason why we didn't do that is because Josh would have left. So then why were you heavily linked to Huijsen? Yeah, Josh was still here, but we got gazumped because Real Madrid came along. That's the only reason why we didn't get Huijsen. So don't try to bullshit us now, talking about, oh yeah, we didn't want to do that because of Josh. Bullshit. Gahey was right there. Cheap. Knows the club. England international. Leader. Dependable. Can always stay fit. Yeah? You don't need Fofana all the time when you got Gahey there because he actually stays fit. He'll stabilize the back. How many goals did we concede at the start of the season because of our centre-backs? We went to the Allianz, Alex, Bayern Munich, with Tosin and Chalobah, bro. That was our pairing, right?
Dark.
You know what I mean? So these are the things where I'm like, yo, these guys they're just so incompetent. They are gamblers. They don't know what they are doing. I don't get paid nowhere near how much they get paid. But why can I see these things? That's why I'm like, yo, Maresca had to go, but they need to be sat down as well. Why did you think it was a good idea to go and sign Gittins and sign Garnacho? Yeah? Why did you think it was a good idea to not go and sign a striker ahead of Delap? Why did you think it was a good idea to not go and sign a centre-back, bro? These are the questions I'll be asking them.
So, Don, you're confusing me. So you do think it was the right decision that Maresca got sacked?
No, bro, listen.
You said he had to go.
Wait, did I say? When did I just say that?
You said he had to go.
No,
unless I misheard
no,
you.
I'm saying the sporting directors have to go. That's
right,
what I said.
Right.
Sporting directors have to go. I'm saying they need to go because they're not happy with, again, it's deeper than the performances on the pitch. But for me, you can't, Alex, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, like if you work corporate, you can't keep messing up at work and then you just come back in like nothing's happened, bro. Yeah.
Eventually you're gonna have a meeting in the manager's office, mate.
Eventually you're gonna have a meeting. Eventually you're gonna have a meeting. So why all this scrutiny of Maresca? Cool. Again, I said, bro, it was fair. When it came to the Atalanta game, it was fair to question him because we all did. You've just said people approach you saying, should he get sacked, right? For me, I didn't see a problem in him being questioned about that. My thing is, where are these guys being questioned? Why are they not being questioned? Yeah? Question Maresca all you want, but they need to be questioned too. Because I'm all about being fair, right? And these two have not been good. These cramp twins, bro. Garnacho and Neto are cramp twins, and Lawrence and Winstanley are cramp twins as well. That's what I call them. Yeah? They have been, they just sit there, they get a new contract, everything's cushy, they can blow our money, and there's no repercussions. There's no repercussions, but there is for Maresca. Why? That's why I look at
Because
Icardi, bro.
he
You're the
didn't
one
bend the
calling
knee,
him out.
mate. That's why he didn't bend the knee.
This is it. This is
And
the problem.
that's the same thing that happened with Poch. Anyone who's look officially, I think actually it was mutual agreement, if I'm not wrong, which is the same thing that happened with Poch, which tells you that it wasn't just a straight sacking. The guy did not just get sacked. He wasn't fighting for his job, and then they got rid of him. It wasn't like that. The guy, what was it? 2 weeks ago, I've had the worst 48 hours of my life. Come to this point, doesn't want to do the press conference after the Bournemouth game. It's written in the stars. The guy, I think he was fully prepared for the consequences of what was going to happen, and he encouraged it. And he was happy to leave millions of pounds on the table. Makes me respect Maresca, if anything, mate, to be honest with you, because he could have easily, gone down the road of trying to make it work, etc. He clearly didn't believe in what we were doing, which is why he's walked. I don't believe in what we're doing. You got Liam Rosenior coming in. Is he going to fill me with belief? He's going to clearly fit what they're doing if he's going to accept this role. Players, I doubt they're going to respect him too much. And then, the stadium, the atmosphere around the club. I mean, we were in a good place, man. That's what people have said. Like, we were in a genuine place where we can compete for things. We've got the Arsenal game coming up. I got father sending me screenshots saying you can get like X amount of seats together because nobody wants to go to the game.
I ain't going to that.
You're not going to go?
Wait. Bro, my cousin texted me even before Maresca got sacked. I said no. You texted me saying, I've got a ticket for you for Bournemouth. I said no.
Don, the way it goes with me, it doesn't matter who's running the club. Doesn't matter who's managing. I'll still be going. I try not to look at it like that. I just enjoy, the experience. I enjoy going. It's a lifestyle. I mean, after a number of years, you just get used to it. But it is depressing, no doubt about it. And we were genuinely in a position where we could compete for trophies. Say what you want about a Premier League. The Carabao Cup is there for the taking. Domestic trophies are there. We've proven we can do it in the Club World Cup. We're more than.
And then you get people like this. Yeah, go put that that comment up from no one Z4 VIP whatever. Why would SD go out when they have created second best squad according to Donyan? Yeah, bro, I have been consistent about the like for like options we have in this squad. Right, I like a lot of these signings they've signed as squad players. Yeah, as squad players. Get that through your brain. But as starters, we still needed to sign starting level quality, and we should have. We could have, in fact. When we signed Gittins, we didn't have to sign Garnacho after. It should have been a Semenyo. It should have been a Rodrigo. It should have been an Ndiaye. Yeah, we should have signed. If we didn't sign Rodrigo, we should have gone and signed Kudus, a ball runner in the team. You should have gone and signed. Make sure you got Xavi Simons over the line. I know Xavi Simons hasn't been great at Tottenham, but honestly, I honestly believe he would do so much better with like players that we've got. Players that can link up with him and whatnot, right? We could have gone and signed Gahey. These are all guys that start for us. So this is the problem that I deal with all the time, Alex. People that can't comprehend things, bro.
What do you think of this comment from Dan? He says, "I think Gittins has potential and needs game time."
I've been saying the exact same thing. I've been saying the exact same thing, bro. For me, I don't feel like he's really got a fair run in the team. He's actually someone that I expected Maresca to focus on more because I think he fits the system more, in terms of being, 1v1 and taking the man on. I know we haven't seen much of it yet, but I think it's more of a confidence thing. I don't really feel like Maresca put his arm around him. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like he really fucked with him, which to me was strange because I'm like, yo, if there's anyone in this team that can actually do what you want them to do, it's this guy. Yeah. Look how explosive it was against Leverkusen. People were like, oh my days, look at what we signed on that left-hand side, right? You need to remember there's intangibles in the game, bro. There's confidence in players. There's confidence for players to play better. If you've got a manager that consistently picks Garnacho and he ain't even levels like that, you're going to be looking at it thinking, bro, it doesn't matter what I do in training, he don't fancy me. And it will show on the pitch. But if you put your arm around him and say, Gittins, when you get the ball, I don't care if you lose it. Keep running at him. Yeah? Palmer, when you see Gittins in space, play him the ball. I want you to do one thing and one thing only. Keep running at that defender. Right? That's how you manage these sort of players, man.
Yeah. When I defend Maresca, I want to be very clear. I don't enjoy the style of play. And I find a lot of the stuff he's done weird. But I hold on to the fact of the success. It's like with Mourinho. There was a lot of games that were so boring and dross. But you get a Premier League over the line. Nobody cares. And ultimately, You got some people going, yeah, but that's not good enough. That's not the Chelsea standard, Conference League and the Club World Cup. I'm afraid that the way it's looking at the moment, that is beyond the Chelsea standard. That looks to me like a Chelsea peak, because it doesn't look like we're going to be winning anything anytime soon. But listen, Don, I know you got to go, mate. You got to wrap up. Big up to you, my friend. Thanks for jumping on.
Any more super chats? I'll pay for the super chats if there's any more.
No, that's it as it stands. That's it. I'm still going, Don. Don't you worry, mate.
Are you still going, yeah? All right, cool, man.
Going, I'm still going. Yeah, but listen, big up to you. All the best. Check out Don's channel as well, Greasy Don. And
CFC.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Greasy Don's my Twitter. But big up
the chat. Twitter. That's your Twitter. Fair enough.
Big up.
Big up to you, my friend. Have a good one. But listen, if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. We've got over 300 of you on YouTube, over 700 on X. It all helps. It all makes a big difference. Let's get up to 150 likes at least, guys. And then I've got a big announcement to make, which me and Don didn't have enough chance to actually speak about on the stream. We've got some breaking news. And I mean, I already knew about this, but we were waiting until I think 6 o'clock, whatever time it was, for everybody to come out and say this. But there is a formal protest that has been planned. And yes, this is something that you could say has been brewing for a long time. Those of you who like the ownership, those of you who don't like the ownership. I think the reality is that if Maresca hadn't have been sacked, this wouldn't have happened. But this has just accelerated the time frame of a protest. I think it would have happened regardless, to be fair, if we would have kept going in the direction, especially with the transfers and the kind of players that we're bringing in. So let's go over it. Let's go through it. Let's talk about it. I'm going to share my screen with you now. Big up to all of you guys. Right. Understand a formal protest has been planned. Chelsea fan protest against Begdad Eghbali and the sporting directorship. Chelsea versus Brentford, the 17th of January, outside the Britannia Gate at Stamford Bridge at 1 p.m. Chelsea supporters are encouraged to come together in unity for a peaceful protest on the model and strategy. In particular, Begdad Eghbali and the CFC sporting directors. The reality, record spending, a youth-led recruitment strategy that has failed to raise standards, squad instability, unbalanced, inexperienced, ever-changing squads with managers left to carry responsibility, failed strategy, quantity prioritized over quality in aid of raising value to sell on for a profit. Chelsea is not a richer Brighton or Red Bull. Managerial chaos, underwhelming appointments chosen to fit the internal structure and project, the same structure that has failed Graham Potter, Maurizio Pochettino, and Enzo Maresca. One club, one voice, change must occur. Read the full manifesto below. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. Can I get any closer? No. Okay. I can still read that. That's ridiculous, guys. Honestly, it's ridiculous that it's come to this. We should be having a nice, happy conversation about our lovely Chelsea, our beautiful footballing club. But instead, we are a private equity asset. We are an asset, guys. And that is the harsh reality. A Chelsea supporter statement. Chelsea supporters are encouraged to join a peaceful fan-led protest on the afternoon of our home fixture against Brentford, which takes place at 3 o'clock on January the 17th. The protest will take place outside Britannia Gate from 1 o'clock. This is a moment that demands unity, clarity, and action from a fan base that stood together before, most notably, to stop the Super League. When Chelsea supporters unite, we make a difference. This moment demands that same unity again. This is a peaceful fan-led protest by Chelsea supporters who feel increasingly disconnected from the leadership and direction of our club. This is not about individual players. This is not about online point scoring, and it's not about scapegoating one manager. This protest is about ownership, the ownership model, and the sporting structure led by Begdad Iqbali, now driving Chelsea Football Club. Since the takeover, Chelsea have been run less like an elite club and more like a player trading farm, focused on churn, speculation, and long-term potential at the expense of present-day competitiveness. Responsibility for this direction lies with the current leadership, Begdad Iqbali, along with the sporting directors Paul Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, Joe Shields, Sam Jewell, and the rest of the sporting leadership team. They have been entrusted with football strategy recruitment and squad building. Simply put, they have failed to meet the standards required at a club of Chelsea's size, history, and ambition. The reality: record spending, massive financial outlay with minimal progress towards competing for major honours, squad instability, constant turnover and ever-changing lineups preventing team cohesion, failed strategy, quantity prioritized over quality to increase resale value. Chelsea is not Brighton or Red Bull. Managerial chaos. Underwhelming appointments chosen to fit an internal structure that has failed. Potter, Pochettino, and Maresca alike. We recognize the ambition shown through record levels of spending, but spending alone is not progress. Execution is vital. Despite the outlay, Chelsea are no closer to competing for the league title. Automatic Champions League qualification is looking increasingly unlikely, and qualification for next season's competition has been thrown up in the air by yet another managerial change due to the hierarchy's own inability not to micromanage the head coach. This points to a failure of strategy and leadership, not resources. Across football, it is widely accepted, but most importantly proven, that a number of elite ready-made signings in key positions can raise standards quickly and lead to the best chance of consistently competing across a whole season. Instead, Chelsea have prioritized long-term potential while sacrificing the present, leading to inconsistent performances while our rivals strengthen to win now. Chelsea fans continually are being asked to wait. In year 1 or 2, we could accept this stance, not in year 4 of the project. We understand private equity ownership and the need to grow club value, but the most proven way to increase a football club's value is simple: win major honours consistently. Chelsea had an opportunity to build on momentum this summer. That opportunity was missed, and the club has been set further back. Instead, Chelsea have prioritized long-term potential while sacrificing the present, leading to inconsistent performances. This is a crucial moment in our club's history. So I'm just reading some of your comments, guys. Yeah, we could have signed a lot of players, guys. We could have signed Lise. We could have signed Kvaratskhelia, like you said, Donnarumma, Cherky. Gurhi. I mean, the list goes on. It goes on and on. Right, let's continue. What we demand. Also, smash the like buttons. We should have at least 150 likes in here. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. If you're an ex, retweet. All makes a difference. Clear accountability. Football decisions must have clear ownership and consequences for poor outcomes. End the micromanagement culture. Foster a culture of trust and autonomy, not micromanagement from Begdad Iqbali, Paul Winstanley, and Lawrence Stewart that undermines the coaches and the team. Flexibility over volume. Reduce youth-heavy recruitment. Add proven experience to rebalance the squad and raise standards amongst our younger players. Board stability. Consistent leadership at board level with football expertise prioritized. Proper manager support, qualified managers who are backed and not scapegoated. Championship ambition, a Chelsea that competes seriously in the Premier League and Champions League. Chelsea is not a development project. Chelsea is not a resale platform. Chelsea is built to compete at the highest level. This protest is about standards, ambition, and the future of our club. We want better. This is only the beginning. When supporters unite with one voice, change happens. Our club deserves leadership that matches our ambition. One club, one voice. There you go. And that is the official statement. And Pies has come out with that. Fair play to you. Salute. Good job, mate. And it seems to already hit home with a lot of people in the space of not even an hour. 150,000 people have seen that. Only 1,700 have retweeted it, though, guys. So, I mean, retweet that as well, honestly. This needs all the traction it can get. Because it is a serious time. It's a serious time. And I do agree with you on this as well, Bruno. I don't know why the hell. I respect to Don, and I appreciate there's more layers to the conversation about Maresca and everything else. But I can't see past. We can have that conversation all day. It's like your girlfriend cheated on you. I don't want to hear the reasons why or what you were doing or where you were or how you felt. You fucking did it. What are we talking about all this other stuff for? What are we talking about it? Ultimately, we know the problem. We know the issues. I don't need to speak about Maresca inverting right backs. I don't need to speak about Garnacho and Neto playing together. I mean, if anything, it proves that we don't have the right quality of player to consistently win matches or the right profile, in which case the recruitment was even worse. And we spent all that money. We didn't even sign the right profiles. So, I mean, it's not just, it is about Egbali, but it's about Clear Lake. I mean, ultimately, it's an establishment. It's an establishment that's tearing our club down, and it's just killing me, guys. It's killing me. And I'm going to show you a clip from this morning. I spoke with TalkSport at 7 a.m. They always like to invite me on early. But I had a word with them, and to be honest with you, I don't even find it difficult. I found myself when I first started doing all this stuff, I had to really, because I'm not usually that out there. I like to just talk, but Chelsea, it brings it out of you. It does. It brings it out of you. So I had a bit of a rant on there, and I just thought it might be worth sharing this with you, and then we can do a little Q&A. Let's hear what you think. Here we go. Let me share my screen with you now. Rosenior confirmed. Fuck off. Are you serious? Is it done? It's not confirmed yet. I haven't seen that. It's not confirmed yet. It's not done. It's not done. Anyway, this is this morning at 7 a.m.
The club decided a change was needed. For more on this, we're joined by the founder of Chelsea Fan TV, Alex Harris. Good morning, Al.
Morning, Alex.
I wouldn't call it a good morning, but hi.
Oh, you're not happy?
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It gets worse every year, boys. It gets worse every year. I came on here 10 months ago. I said, this ownership are killing us. And they've done it. We're dead.
Well, I mean, he's left you in a... Look, Maresca's left.
We're not Chelsea anymore. We are CFC London.
You're a different Chelsea, though. You're not Roman Abramovich Chelsea, but you're a different Chelsea.
We're pathetic. I can't... You don't understand. We have the worst owners in world football. They're worse than the Glazers. They're worse than the Glazers.
Come on, mate.
The demise of Man United took 15, 20 years. They've done it in less than 5. They've killed us. They've killed us. A manager has been sacked because he doesn't have control of rotation. He doesn't have control of his own substitutions. He's not allowed any say in the transfer market. He's got nothing. He's got I salute Maresca for walking out. Apparently, he's waived off severance as well. He's been happy to leave Chelsea without even getting paid. Do you know how bad your club needs to be for a manager to walk out the door and not even ask for a full severance package? Mourinho always got paid. Tuchel got paid. They all got paid. Why has Maresca just walked out the door? There is big problems at Chelsea. We are red flag FC. We are balance the book FC. We are accountancy FC. We are private equity FC. I'm just so finished. And of course, there's already a protest organised 17th of January, 1 o'clock before Brentford. You got to come out, guys, because this is just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I'm seeing an elite football club being dragged through the depths. I mean, you talk about in the mud. What's below that? That's how I feel right now. I was trying to celebrate New Year. I'm getting notification. This must be a joke. And then I wake up on New Year's Day. It's been sacked. We are not a serious football club. And not to mention that Blucher, they're also going to sabotage Strasbourg season because Liam Rosenior, he's the man that's going to solve our problems. Liam Rosenior, the man who before he managed Strasbourg was at Hull and Brighton. Of course, he was at Brighton. This is criminal. This is the worst decision I think I've ever seen. This is worse than when Tuchel got sacked in many ways, because at least Maresca understood the project. He knew what he was signing up for, but it turns out it was even worse than that.
Well, when they first took over and we tried to work out, they spent £1 billion. They give the manager a load of players, and we were questioning, how can you give a footballer an 8-year contract? Football's been going for hundreds of years. There's obvious reasons why you don't give someone an 8-year contract, because you get in your armchair and that's you done for 8 years. If things go against you, you just go, right, I'm not going anywhere. You ain't getting rid of me. I got 7 years left. Look at Mudryk. Now I understand that financial fair play, they've given long contracts to spread try and get round the rules. But when you give him players 7 or 8 year contracts, it just breeds complacency. You just sit in. Some players will fight and try and get back in the team, but most of them will go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run my contract down. I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to play. And my value that you paid for me is going to be zero. There's one thing I didn't agree with, but you're right. You're trying to say there's worse owners who give you no money.
Well, yeah, look, what I would say, Al, is I hear you. Like, I hear you. They're not in a good place at the minute, Chelsea, with what's going on, but it is a brilliant football club. You're fifth in the table. There have been some positives this season. It's been the December was a disaster for you guys. I get that. Your performances against Barcelona are good. Against Arsenal, you got some top players in Casado, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Esteval. I know you're digging out the ball, but there could be some bright lights at the end of it. No,
any light is gone. That is gone. We have shown our true colours, guys. Remember when Egbali came in, he said that Chelsea wasn't well managed on the football side. We weren't data driven enough. He was criticising what Abramovich did. Apparently, we sacked too many managers. We've sacked 5. Surprise, surprise. Like, there's no trust the process anymore. There is no trust the process. As other fans have said before me, it's now a case of trust the process. Honestly, I do not understand how you can look at this club right now and the way we're being run at the moment and see any light at the end of the tunnel. Because do you see us striving more than a club like Aston Villa? No, I don't see us. I don't. At least Jim Radcliffe is a Man United
fan. You won the Club
fan.
World Cup. All right, let's not get away from that. You won the Club World Cup.
Despite self-sabotage, we were able to have some success, which is more credit to Maresca, who I didn't like last season. He showed that actually, you know what, even working with owners, they don't want to invest in ready-made players. They don't give you a centre-back. They don't give you a competent goalkeeper. They don't give you an experienced striker. You don't have a proper left winger, and you're still able to win 2 trophies. That just proves it's baffling, this decision. It's absolutely baffling. And then we've got Juventus. We've got Man City knocking on Maresca's door. This is the biggest compliment you could ever ask for. It was brilliant. It was like, you know what, Chelsea, I don't have a problem with this model if we are able to actually stick to our guns and show some backbone. We can't even last 2 years with a manager. How are we going to compete for silverware? You look at Arsenal, you can criticize Arteta, you can criticize everything. They stuck by him, they supported him, and that is a footballing project, whatever you want to call it. And we are no longer a footballing project. Ed Barley, remember, when he took over Chelsea, he said he was inspired by the Brighton model. And that inspiration is shining through because we're turning into the London version of Brighton, honestly. We're going to continue to see wages being cut. We're going to continue to see young players that are unproven signed, like you said, on those 7-8 year contracts. You say that players are in the armchair. It's more like they're stuck behind prison bars, because I don't think Cole Palmer is going to want to be a part of this project. Moises Caicedo has not signed an extension. And we know that actually, when you look at this model, Todd Bowley said it himself, if there's a player that's got 2-3 years left on his contract, that's when they're looking to sell, because they want them to extend before that. So in the next couple of years, if you don't get an extension from a Caicedo, other players, then you'll see them getting sold as well, because Chelsea are not going to lose players for free. But I think today the main message needs to be that the fan base has been lost on this project. I don't support it. I don't understand it. And to be quite honest with you, I feel physically sick. And that's not because I was hungover from New Year. It's because of the decision.
Alex, Alex, clear it up for us. So what is this strategy? The owners? The
strategy is build a club up in value without winning trophies by lowering the wages. So Brighton's famously said that he liked the fact that Brighton's model meant they spent 10% of their revenue on wages. Now, you compare that to a side like Aston Villa. They're spending as much as they can on wages. That's the first thing. The second thing is you only sign young players because they retain their value or they can go up in value, okay? So it's less risky. You can see Delap, you see Garnacho, you could probably get your money back if you wanted to. Whereas if we signed Ollie Watkins, which a lot of fans want, in 3 years, he loses his value. So that's another part of it. But the main thing is we're now a selling club. There's been reports coming out that Clear Lake don't care if we win the Carabao Cup. I'm hardly surprised. They're not going to make any money from that. And ultimately, they're just going to continue to cut costs and raise season ticket prices. And then, the crazy thing is we're run by private equity. Their sole concern is money. And we don't even have a front of shirt sponsor. How many football clubs at this level have no front of shirt sponsorship when you are run by private equity? The whole goal of private equity is to go into a business, make it more profitable, and then sell it for a profit. You've missed out on almost £100 million of front of shirt sponsor cash. It's ridiculous. So we can't even manage the football side, and the business side is pathetic as well. Like I can't. I'm lost for words, boys. I'm lost for words.
I feel like you are, Alex. Just lastly, the manager. You are going to need a manager. Liam Rosenior is looking like a bit of a front runner. What do you make of
that? Honestly, Liam, if you're listening to this, don't accept. Please turn us down, because this is just a joke. You won't get any support at Chelsea from the fan base. You won't get support from the board. The players won't respect you. Why would they? Ultimately, it's just a lose-lose. Stay at Strasbourg. You're having a good time out there. Nice food in France. Just stay away from Chelsea. Honestly, we're not going to get a top manager, Oliver Glasner. Who's honestly thinking Oliver Glasner is going to take this job? He is going to turn us down straight away. The Porto manager's come out and said he's committed to Porto. We've killed any opportunity of having a genuinely competent manager. All you had to do was back Maresca, and then God forbid the results changed in a few years, whatever. At least they could say he was given a bit of time. He hasn't even had that. You gave him a 5-year contract. You gave Potter a 5-year contract. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, my message is, honestly, I've given up.
All right. For what it's worth, Alex, up till yesterday, before they sacked him, I thought the club was going in the right direction after watching the Aston Villa game.
You're correct. That's the strange thing. We were going in a good direction, and then you shoot yourself in the foot. It's like you're having a race, and then you just decide to stop. Yeah, second place, third place, fourth place, no problem. Why are we doing this? It's clear, because we don't have enough ambition. We're not looking at where we need to be right now. All we care about is 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line. What about now, guys? I mean, there's only so much of this we can take. 4 years, and I'm just sick of it.
Well,
Alex,
happy New Year, Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah, Happy New Year, boys. Happy New Year. There you go. Yeah. It's crazy as well, because if you actually look at TalkSport, 10 months ago, I went on there and I said, the ownership are killing us. And I've just come on TalkSport now, and it's just brutal, absolutely brutal. They've killed us, Yeah. So yeah, there you go. There you go. I mean, me personally, I am a believer that things could change, but I don't see that happening in the near future, unfortunately. Have I signed in? Yes. Yes, I have. Fuck yeah, boys. All right. Just for you guys, I made an account. I know you don't like the brown envelopes, but that's where you get the information apparently these days. So let's see what the Telegraph are saying. I don't even know if this was just a free article anyway, but I have subscribed. Only cost me 25 quid for the year. So I was like, meh, I can do that. Liam Rosenior expected to be named Chelsea head coach. Players at London club told Strasbourg manager, who has offered the French club no guarantees he will stay, is the favourite to replace Enzo Maresca. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Great manager. Good. You know, I was on the phone this morning with George Benson, and I said to him, I said, George, I actually have to go and watch this every week. Maybe I should just become a streamer, guys. Maybe I should become a streamer. Won't cost me anything. Easier. And guess what? I can just turn the computer off. I can turn the TV off. Why am I following this club every week? To get slapped in the face. Why? Did I have work? No. I got the week off, guys. I got the week off. I'll start work on Monday. And anyway, let's continue this article. Let's continue this. Let's continue. Chelsea players expect Liam Rosenior to be named their new head coach after being given indication he is the favourite to succeed Enzo Maresca. Rosenior, the Strasbourg head coach, offered no guarantees that he will remain at the French club when quizzed about the Chelsea links on Friday. The Englishman, who has been at Strasbourg since July 2024, has been a leading candidate to replace Maresca following the Italian's departure from Stamford Bridge on Thursday. Speaking at a press conference in France ahead of Strasbourg's match with Nice on Saturday, the 41-year-old insisted he would not discuss speculation, but also warned, in life, things happen. Strasbourg are Chelsea's sister club, which means that Rosenior already has a relationship with key figures at Chelsea and the ownership consortium Blueco. The Chelsea players were back in training on Friday ahead of Sunday's trip to Man City, and having been given New Year's Day off. That was when it was announced that Maresca was leaving. Telegraph Sport understands that several key players have discussed the possibility of Rosenior taking over, having been given indications that he was the favourite to succeed Maresca. Of course, I am aware there is speculation, Rosenior said. I think that that's a reflection of the great work everyone has done at this club. If a player is linked to a big club, it means we're doing our job well. It's the same in my case. The players all have social media now and know more than me. Fortunately, I don't, and it will stay that way. The players are obviously aware. They made a couple of jokes at the training ground. Please don't go, Gaffer. It's just jokes. It's not a real thing. The most important thing is we're all focused on our job. There are no guarantees in life. What I do know is that I put everything into this job, and I've created some unbelievable connections with the people at this club. We've created some great memories. You can't guarantee anything in life in terms of interest for other clubs. I've had a lot of interest, a lot of approaches that I've always been open with the club about. Some have come out and some haven't. My focus is always on the job that I do. But to say I'm definitely going to be somewhere or definitely going to do something, I don't think that's right, because in life, things happen. Furious reaction in France. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Asked about his contact with Chelsea, Rosenior added, we're part of the same company, part of the same industry, so I've had contact with the guys from the beginning. What I can say is they have been so supportive of me in this job. They want this club to do so well, and they also want Chelsea to do well. Rosenier's potential departure is likely to trigger a furious reaction in France, with L'Equipe quoting a dressing room source saying he would be leaving like a thief. Strasbourg are 7th in Liga and currently top of the Conference League table, the competition Maresca won last season. And they have 3 Chelsea loanees in their side: Mike Penders, Kendry Pires, and Mamadou Sarr. Now, what I can tell you guys about those 3, I think Penders is playing pretty much every week. Not hearing anything bad about him. Seems like he's developing. Mamadou Sarr, don't know a lot about, so I can't really comment. And Kendry Pires, I hear he's got a bad lifestyle and he can't even get in the team. And the system doesn't work for him either. So I don't think that loan's going particularly well. But there have been protests and accusations from fans that they are being used as a farm club, which has been strongly denied. It is understood that to try and appease some of the anger, Blueco want to line up Rosenier's successor before announcing his appointment at Chelsea, if the final decision is taken to give him the job. The favorite is Eric Ramsey, who is the coach of Minnesota United. The 33-year-old who speaks French and was the youngest British coach to gain a UEFA Pro license, was assistant at Man United before joining the MLS club in February 2024. Also under the consideration is Will Still, who was sacked by Southampton earlier in this season, having joined them after enjoying great success in France with Reims and Lens. Rosenior was due to meet with Strasbourg sporting director David Weir, who only joined the club in November, having left Brighton and Hove Albion, and President Mark Keller on Friday. I need a drink. No, I've got one. Weir previously worked with Chelsea sporting director Paul Winstanley and director of recruitment Sam Jewell at Brighton, and joined the Sussex club at the same time that Rosenior, on retiring as a player, started his coaching career with Brighton's under-23. Isn't it classic that this guy was at Brighton as well? I mean, it's just everywhere. Honestly, everywhere. Chelsea's plan to go for a young training ground coach who will fit into the way they want to operate. They plan for a young coach. It makes Rosenior the outstanding candidate, although Porto's Francesco Farioli is another they will consider. However, it may be difficult to retract in mid-season. Just bear in mind as well that the Porto coach has said that he is committed to Porto. So that's not going to happen. He's not going to come to Chelsea. I don't believe that. Chelsea have asked under 21 coach Callum McFarlane, who has also been linked with the Strasbourg job, to take control of the first team for this weekend's fixture. McFarlane will be supported by under 21 coaches Andy Ross and James Simmons and academy analyst Adam Keep. Of Maresca's coaching staff, only set-piece specialist Bernardo Cueva remains. So for those people thinking Willy Caballero is going to be leading the lines, that's not going to happen. Bernardo Cueva is the only player that remains. Remember, Bernardo Cueva works for Chelsea specifically. It was never a part of Maresca's lineup. He was brought in under Pochettino. Poch didn't want him, but he is Chelsea's set-piece coach. Meanwhile, a handful of senior Chelsea players have offered public tributes to Maresca following his departure from the club. Among them was midfielder Enzo Fernandez, who posted on social media, "Thank you for everything we shared and experienced. I learned a lot and truly value every piece of advice and each experience. We won 2 titles together, and that I will never forget. Much success to you, and hopefully our paths will cross again in the future. A big hug." Other tributes were posted by the likes of Mark Cucurella, Levi Colwell, Moises Caicedo, although the majority of Chelsea's first-team players have so far remained silent on social media. There you go. Strasbourg are getting mugged off. Honestly, they are getting done dirty here, guys. I mean, it is nasty. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is horrendous. I can show the comments on stage. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, actually, no, I don't like that. I prefer reading it like that. I can obviously see your comments, guys. I just don't always put it on screen. It's pronounced Rosenior. Maybe this is like Mudryk. It's going to take me a little while to get to grips with this. It was Mudryk for a long time, and then we upgraded to Mudryk. Who else did we have? I'm trying to think of names I've struggled with. What other names are there? Fuck knows. It is pathetic, though, guys. It is pathetic and very uninspiring. Let's see this comment from Matthew. Am I the only one who's going to give Rosenior a chance? We got Maresca from the Championship, and I've heard nothing but good things about Rosenior's coaching ability. I just want to be very clear. I'm actually a fan of Rosenior. I am a fan of him. I like what he's doing at Strasbourg, as much as people go, "Oh, they're in 7th." Strasbourg is Strasbourg, but it's different coming to Chelsea, man. It's different, and when you're signing all of these guys, and you got a Championship manager, Maresca, coming in, he proves himself. How many times do you think it happens that you sign managers from the Championship and they actually work? We took a huge risk. We took a huge gamble on it. It paid off last season. It paid off. It was a very painful process, but it did pay off in the end. But you take that risk again. Very big risk. This guy came from Brighton under 23s and Hull, and then came to Strasbourg. I'm sorry, but it doesn't fill you with any confidence. It doesn't do it. I mean, I was very emotional on TalkSport, no doubt about it. I was very, very emotional. But why wouldn't you be? We're being run to the ground. Run into the ground. Honestly, it's so pathetic. It's unambitious to the next level. It's worse than the Glazers. I stand by that comment. I said that a year ago. I can find that as well. I can find that clip. I can find it. I'll find it. I'll dig it out. It's dark times. It's dark times to be a Chelsea fan. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe as well, guys. You know, I had a bit of a break from streaming. It's you know, it was quite a lot at one point, but we're back now. Let's see if I can find it. No, I haven't got it. Can't find it. I'll be honest. Apologies. Yes, there will be a protest on the 17th of January. Please be there. If you were on my stream yesterday, it's actually my idea. I didn't speak to Pies about it, but it's the logical choice, isn't it? 1 o'clock on a Saturday. Nobody's going to protest at Fulham, Charlton, or City away. You can protest in the stands. You can chant. Yeah, it's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. It's pathetic. You know, it comes to a point where you just lose the words. I don't know how Johnny does it every week, every day. How the hell do you just keep going and going and ranting? Does your voice not hurt? My voice is hurting after an hour and a half of streaming. My voice genuinely hurts. My throat. But this is what it does. No updates on Mudryk, I'm afraid. No updates there. Imagine if we supported Strasbourg and this lot treated our club like a feeder process to Chelsea, we'd be fuming. Absolutely, mate. You've hit the nail on the head there. Listen, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I feel like I've spoken about what I wanted to speak about. We had a good chat with Don as well. Let me know what you'd like to see more on the channel this year as well. Very happy to try and do some new stuff. Maybe some call-in shows, stuff like that. Very, very happy to do it. But yeah, it's a busier year for me, if I'm totally honest. I work every day now, including Sundays. So fitting Chelsea and the channel around is going to be slightly challenging. But as always, we move. We try our best to make it happen. And I still enjoy talking about Chelsea. I'm sure I'll still enjoy watching Chelsea. As sick as I feel at times, the good moments are still very memorable, right? And last season was painful. Pochettino's season was painful. Potter's season was painful. But I got some great memories from those seasons. And I'm sure there'll be plenty more great memories. But if we're talking about memories like Vraslov and New York, don't see that happening, guys. Don't see it. You know, the truth is, though, if you're going to be a team like this, at least play some nice football. Maybe Rosenior can do that. But if it's anything like what Maresca's done and we're playing the same style, which is what everybody seems to be saying, those are the briefs. And I'm just like, really? So now we're not going to win trophies and we're still going to be boring to watch. Really? Why? Get me a pillow. Honestly. So, I mean, that's all I'm holding out hope for, really, is that maybe I can be entertained and have some fun. Because it's not been that fun following Chelsea under Maresca. It really hasn't. But we won trophies, so I can accept it. I've had, you know, how can you deny the silverware? If we're not getting that, then it has to be entertaining. It has to be. And I sound like a Tottenham fan here. But who are we being run by? Who are we being run by? Like, I can't. You know, it's killing me, guys. It's killing me. I need to bring a pillow on away days and home day. Yeah, 100%. Oh, man. Can you organize something online for the 17th so that we who cannot come can add our voices from away like this? We'll see what happens, man. I'm sure there'll be something that we can organize. I'm sure there will be. Listen, guys, smash the like button, subscribe. Really appreciate everyone's time. Enjoy your evening. Up the Chelsea.